Hi guys, Miss Short here. I'm back with another cooking activity. So just like the last one, it's huge that you get parent guardian permission first. Of course, safety is everything. So this is a recipe for sugar cookies, and I have not yet tried this recipe. So we shall see. I'm doing a little improvising. I don't have all of the ingredients or utensils, so I'm gonna do a little bit of improvising. If you guys have seen any of my other videos, you know by now that I take a lot of creative liberty with my projects. So I've got the ingredients I'm going to use right in front of me. I've got a cup of butter. I've got my sugar container here that I'm going to be using my measuring cup to scoop out 1 1/4 cups of sugar. I'm going to be using 1 egg. This recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, but I don't have any vanilla extract, so I'm going to try and see how this works out to use vanilla creamer. We'll see. Ooh, I'm throwing things now. Then I have some flour, 2 1/2 cups of flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon salt. And I don't have a teaspoon, so I'm pretty sure this is about the same as a teaspoon, and so I'm just going to kind of gauge what I think is a teaspoon, or 1/2 or 1/4 of a teaspoon. So we're going to start with, and the other thing I want to mention is I have my oven currently preheating at 350 degrees. So the first thing this recipe calls for is a cup of butter, and I've left this out for a little bit, so I'm hoping it's soft and I'm hoping it mixes easily. So it says to go ahead and put your butter in your bowl and measure out 1/4 cup of sugar, and you're going to mix the two together just by themselves, just to start with. And I don't know if this is going to be soft enough. I hope so. And of course, I've washed my hands before touching any of my ingredients. Okay, so my butter is in my bowl, and now I'm going to measure out 1 1/4 cup of sugar. And that looks to be about 1 1/4 cup of sugar. Perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna put the lid back on this guy, which is right in front of me. I'm gonna pour my sugar into my bowl, and then I'm gonna mix. Oh yeah, I definitely could let the butter sit out a little bit longer. I don't have a working microwave currently, otherwise I would put this in the microwave for a little bit to soften it up. But at the moment, I don't have that luxury. I have a microwave, it's just not currently working. Okay, so this is giving me a tough time. So I think what I'm going to do, it's coming along, I guess. Great way to get any frustration out. So what I might do is I might start adding my other ingredients just so you guys can see what this recipe calls for. Otherwise, I have a feeling we'd be sitting here forever. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start adding the other ingredients, and maybe I will leave out the part where I roll them into to balls to let this set a little bit, to let the butter melt a little bit better. And then you guys, if you want to see, you know, how to roll the dough out, you can watch my peanut butter cookie video. So I'm gonna go ahead and go straight in with the eggs. Add that to my bowl. I'm gonna grab a Kleenex really quick and wipe off my hands. There, okay. So I've got my egg and now 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, which, as I've mentioned, I don't have, so we're gonna try creamer and hope that works. Of course, if it doesn't work, this video probably won't get posted. So if this video is up, you know that it worked okay. It worked out in the end. Okay, so I did two little blue things. I don't know if that's 2 teaspoons or not. And then I'm gonna try to mix this in a little bit. Maybe that'll help soften the butter, that there's some liquid in here, some liquid and something to kind of help break it down a little bit. Maybe I can get it to where I want it to be now that there's some egg and some creamer in here. And it is making it a little bit easier. I suppose one thing that you could do is you could also use a hand mixer. If you're having a tough time like me getting the butter and the sugar mixed together. But I will say that adding liquid to it is definitely helping. And unfortunately, I think that's it for liquid. Otherwise, I would go straight in with whatever else. And so now that I have raw egg in here, I am not going to eat this until I've cooked it in the oven. Do not eat raw cookie dough. And this is giving me quite the workout, which is an additional benefit. And what I really like about these activities is now that we're all home, it gives us an opportunity to focus on not only self-care, but learning other skills, not just math, not just reading, not just history, but also those life skills like cooking that we will forever need if we ever, you know, are living on our own, living away from mom and dad. Cooking is definitely something you will want to know how to do. So I think it's really cool that we can kind of shift things a little bit and can kind of start, you know, learning other skills that are as equally as important. Okay, it's coming along, but I'm gonna go ahead and start adding the other ingredients because I'm sure you guys have better things to do than watch me fight with butter. So I'm gonna go ahead now, and the next thing this recipe calls for is 2.5 cups of flour. And so I've got 2 things of flour because I don't know that one that's opened, one that's not opened, and I don't know if this is gonna give me 2.5 cups or not. So I've got a little extra, a little backup. So let's add this in and see how much we have. And is there still some in here? Not really. And it's a little less than a cup, or about a cup, a little less than a cup. So I'm gonna get into my unopened one. I'm gonna open it for the first time and add a little bit more until I get to about 2.5 cups. Okay, let's see how much that is. About a cup now. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Okay, let's see how that is. It's bringing us to about 2. And a little bit under 2.5. So I'm gonna add just just a tiny, tiny bit more, and hopefully not too much. Ooh, that might have been too much. It's a little bit over. I'm gonna take my spoon, just scoop a little bit out. Another scoop. And that's about 2.5. I'm satisfied with that. I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna pour that in. And then now, let's see how that stirs. Making a mess. Please, 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 guys, if you're doing this, make sure you're cleaning up after yourselves. Okay, it's not too bad. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my little spoon to gauge 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm gonna say that's I'm gonna guess that that's about 1/2. We'll see. Of course, if you have measurements, if you have the utensils and the ingredients to do this recipe to the fullest, please do it that way. I'll definitely be sure to post the recipe as well underneath the video, and I'll post a picture of how they turned out. Okay, ow, paper cup. Woo. Now that looks to me, I'm gonna say that's half a teaspoon of baking powder, and then a little bit of salt. Most people probably don't use the salt they have laying out on their tables, but as you guys know, I just kind of wing it. So that looks, I'm gonna say that's about 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm gonna pour that in. And then I am going to mix this until it's a nice dough-like consistency. Once it is, I will roll them out into about 1 inch dough balls, and I will put them on baking sheets 2 inches apart. And then I'm going to, once I have them all on the baking sheet, I'm going to pop them in the oven for 10 to 11 minutes and then wait till they're cool, and then I'm going to enjoy. And I hope you guys do the same. Take care, guys. See you next time.